Well, what's up there, guys? Welcome back to Dig It Detecting. It's been a long time between drinks. Here we are in January, end of January, and look, I have not been out on the machine detecting for gold or coins and relics since November. So, as I said, been a little while, but here we are back again on the gold. And I've actually got a little patch of gold there this morning. It's quite nice. It's just gone 8 a.m. and here we are with our 6 bit of gold, and we're digging out target number 7 right there where we scraped away. As I said, little patch of gold. We've got another bit there. We've got a bit there behind us there. As I said, another bit ready to come out, number 7. So go easy on me today. As I said, it's the first time I've been out in nearly 2 months, and I'm a little bit rusty, but well, the gold's still flowing, isn't it? And what better time to be out prospecting right now with gold just tipping over the $7,500 an ounce. So roughly putting it to around $240 a gram there, say. So as I said, just a fantastic time to be getting the gold out of the ground, because it certainly pays off. So let's continue digging down on this one. I'll give you a little bit of a listen, and as you can see, we're digging in this really rocky, outcropping, slaty sandstone type material. A couple of bits of lead as well, but this should be gold bit number 7. Let's get him out, let's have a look. Alright, well there he is. Nice little flat bit for number 7. I thought it was going to be gold, and it is, which is just awesome. That's why I got up there this morning quite early, made my way out into the goldfields. So I'll just give you a look at the other bits that we've got, if I can get the glove off. These are brand new gloves. They're fantastic, but they're very tight. There we go. And in the little bottle here, I've got the shorts on today too. It's going to be 31 degrees today. In the bottle here, you can hear the rest of this morning's work. Let's give you a look at this piece first. He's been jagged in between the rocks there for quite some time. But nice little flat bit of gold. And look, it's small, I know. But with today's gold price, as I said, topping $243 a gram, I think I've seen there this morning. Look, it's a fantastic time to be out hunting it. And already we may have look, $20 in the scoop already there, say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Not a bad little run at all. That one's a little tiny ball of gold. He's pretty cool. But I've sort of hit a bit of a patch here, and look, I'm hanging around because gold does not like to be lonely. It likes to have friends. And where you find one bit, generally do the time and put the effort in, clear a few branches away, you will find them all. So 7 little bits of gold, and who knows, maybe another 7 to come. Let's keep going. Right, well, number 8 did not take too long. There was our last dig. I've just thrown that rock down over the top, but that's where number 7 come from right there. And moving forward just that little bit, and right up against the tree here, like he was literally on the surface. And I figured it to be probably a little bit of rubbish. But then again, as I said, we're in a bit of a patch here. 7 bits of gold in the last hour or so. A couple of bits of rubbish. And there is number 8. Not the biggest once again, and quite flat, but look, it's gold, we'll take it nonetheless. And with the gold price being so high, as I said, that is just phenomenal. So we are running, I didn't mention before, the GPX 6000 by MINELAB today. We've also opted with the GOLDHAWK 9-inch COILTEK coil, a great combination. And I'll just stand up and show you, we'll leave that one right there for a second. I'll just stand up and show you. We do actually have another target as I was swinging around here. So we got that one right beside the tree there. But if we have a listen up here, and this is what we're listening for, very faint, soft sounding signals. Remember, the gold is small. You can hear it breaking that threshold there once again though. If we just take a little scraping off the top there without trying to knock our scoop over and lose our last bit of gold, number 8, we should be able to hear him a little bit more defined signal. We'll do that one more time and he'll sharpen up a little bit more. Oops, kicking dirt back into the scoop. I'll show you too, which I haven't shot a video in quite a while, but a coin relic hunting video I did there some time ago at an old school site. I did mention about the new snake gaiters, the protective snake gaiters, and also the new shoes, which I'm going to give you a bit of a look at. And one thing you'll notice straight away is it's got an underwire there to hold on to the gaiters. That's not ideal when prospecting for gold. The coils are very sensitive, but then again, look, if you know that you've got metal in your boots, you always look out for it. And in actual fact, when I started prospecting with the GPX 4500 by MINELAB, I used to wear steel cap boots. But knowing that you have steel in your shoes, you make sure to keep the coil well far away, and work with it. So anyway, we'll grab that one out in a second. Let's put this number 8 into the scoop, into the bottle, I should say. And then let's try for number 9. Well, I knew this one was going to be tiny. I didn't realise how tiny though. I can actually just see him in the stone there. We'll empty that scoop out. And we'll try and give you a bit of a look there. Now, how well you can see that. But the wee bit of gold hanging out. We'll try and crush him out. Funnily enough, just you're trying to find this target. I actually just found another one. So it's certainly the patch of gold here. We've got a target right off to the right hand side of that coil. So number 9, but well, number 10 is about to come out as well. And like I said, I've dug a few bits of rubbish this morning leading my way onto this patch. And a couple of bits of rubbish in the patch here. But ideally, everything that's coming out now is just, well, gold. Gold after gold after gold. So number 9, very, very nice. Twink. And we'll just give you a listen once again. We'll sit him off to the side very carefully. Give you a listen to number 10. As I said, I was sort of got the target there, scratched him down over to the pile there, and as I was humming around, going off on my headphones there in the pick, but as I was humming around, once again, found another target. It's just a matter of scraping that debris off. And even, you know, like I'm sort of working uphill at the moment, so all this sticks and debris and leaf matter and what have you, I'll sort of pull down on top of the workings that I've already done and just keep working my way up the hill. Soft, nice, long drawn out tones. That's what I'm after today. And as I said, it's small gold, but it all adds up. Let's get him in the bottle. Let's get number 10. Right, well, number 10 was a failure. Not to say it was a failure as such. I mean, I got a target, it sounded promising. We took the leaf litter off, we pulled back a little bit of material and, well, it disappeared. So I was just sort of humming around here, you know, checking my material that I'd thrown out, put it back there, kicked it back over, flattened it back out, rechecked the hole, and I think he might have been a bit of a ghost signal. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong. Sometimes you get a lot of mineralisation in the ground and it does affect the detector going off and making you sound, or making it sound and making you think like there is something there. So simply move forward, don't get too caught up or hung up, and any time you spend chasing some of those funny signals that turn out to be nothing, well, the way I see it, you just look for the next. And there it is, and a lot more promising by the sounds as well. A lot better sounding signal. We'll just take a bit more material off there and we'll try and get this one out together. It can be challenging, and I don't have the tripod on me today, it's back at the car. You definitely hear there's a nice sharp sounding signal there, and like everything so far, apart from a few bits of rubbish, we'll hope that it's gold. We'll just take a little bit more material off. He sort of sounds like he's around that little rock there. And the worst thing you do too is scrape too much back too quickly, because you'll just simply kick it out and lose it. You take a little bit off at a time, and just like that. If we had to pull too much out of there just then, we would have lost our signal straight away. Let's see if we can find him in the scoop. So we're sitting right near a rock there too. First time. Alright, let's go down to him. 2 hands, we'll come back and we'll give you a look. Well, we're down to the last couple of stones in this scoop. I'm going to put you back on Bluetooth on the headphones there. I'm hoping it's not this. And it is. I think that's a bit of rubbish. It's bound to happen soon enough. So all we've been getting is gold. A good way to check too, I mean sometimes I've been tricked, but a good way to check just to make sure it is lead is get another stone and crush it, or scrape it up against your pick and just double check. I'm not going to use that stone, it's slate, it'll crack up, but just scrape it against your pick, and in this case that is definitely lead. I don't know how well you can see that. That's a ball of lead. He sounds really sharp too, you know. When you get him out on the coil, that sounds a lot different to gold. There we go. Taking a bit of that dirt off. We can definitely tell it's lead now. So not to worry, probably about, look, 5 bits of rubbish. That one being the 6th, and into the pouch he goes. And 9 bits of gold. Not too bad a ratio. Let's keep going. Gold's such a funny thing, you know. You can walk miles in a day, be in the right gold bearing ground, and not find a thing. Or maybe just find 1 bit and the rest of the day it's lead. And here we are this morning, in the last probably 2 hours now. We've literally only done, I don't know, maybe 10 metres square at best. And it seems to be within this one area, and that's pretty common with gold, I will say. Gold likes to sort of make its way down the hill and sort of group in an area, you know, it sort of will fan out in a bit of a triangular area from its source. But you walk outside that little triangle and you'll lose it. You'll lose the gold trail. So we are making sure to sort of just stay in that little area where we're finding it, and every time I venture out all I seem to do is find lead. So back to the area we go, and I'm working above and below from where I originally found the first piece of gold there this morning. And this should hopefully be number 10. Just take that slight bit of material back. He's still there. That sounds good. I have had a couple of false signals as well there this morning, like the one that you've seen before, and chased them and chased them and chased them. And look, you don't get frustrated, as I said, and you certainly don't get in that negative mindset, because negative mindset will bring negative results, especially on the gold. And I've seen that a lot. So always keep that positive mindset. And don't get too hung up on those false signals or the rubbish, just simply move on. First time. Let's see if this one's number 10, shall we? Hopefully we see some yellow. Well, once again, positive mindset. I mean, here we are with what I thought was going to be number 10 again, what I thought or presumed would be a bit of gold, but here we are with our second bit of lead in probably the last 10 minutes, and that's okay. We keep that positive mindset, we fill our hole in, we take the rubbish with us, and we move on to hopefully number 10, that next target. Before we do though, I'm just going to stop and show you. I did touch on these there in a couple of videos ago, which was a couple of months ago, I know, and I quickly mentioned there this morning the snake gaiters, the new snake gaiters, protective wear for out in the bush here whilst I'm prospecting. And yes, as I said, they do have metal in them. You can see the buttons there running along the Velcro, and of course they've got that little wire tucking around underneath your boot, and of course the little hook there that hooks onto your shoelaces. But these snake gaiters are absolutely fantastic, and I was in the market there. I had my old snake gaiters for a couple of years, a good couple of years, and I was in the market for a brand new pair, and I opted for these. Now these were found down at my local gun shop. They are a Hunter's Element brand snake gaiter, and like it says, Venom Gaiters version 2. Like Chuck Norris, I'm way tougher than a deadly snake. They're designed in good old New Zealand, made with supreme care by our mates in PRC. This is the left side, of course, taking off the left leg, and I've got the right hand side still on, and they are fantastically comfy. You can adjust the top strap there and really wrap them around your leg if you've got skinny legs like me. But look, they are absolutely fantastic, and It's not to say that you are fully protected by a snake, but it certainly does provide that peace of mind whilst out here in the Victorian bush prospecting for gold, or even going looking through old farm paddocks, what have you, doing the coin and relic hunting. And as I said, they do have the guide wire running up underneath just to keep them down onto your ankles and onto your boots, and the little hook there that hooks onto your shoelaces, which, well, keeps coming undone for me, but that's not to worry. They're not shifting up my legs, and as you can see, I mean, I'm pretty tall, 6'2", and they still come just below the knee. You can get different sizes, a small, medium, large, or extra large. As you can see, I've got the large pair there, and they do cost a pretty penny. They're around about $220. So look, fantastic though. I'm not sponsored anyway by Hunter's Element. I'd love if I was, that'd be amazing. But I just think they're a brilliant pair of snake gaiters, and once again providing that perfect peace of mind whilst out here prospecting. And also what I will touch on there quickly is the upgrade of shoes. Now I've always had pretty cheap runners and pretty cheap boots, what have you, whilst out here prospecting, because you do go through them quite quickly and wear them out, you know, scrubbing away the dirt and scrubbing away all the holes and the leaf litter and what have you, trying to establish that target. But I lashed out, and once again, cost a bit of a pretty penny, but I bought a pair of Solomons. Now, these are a fantastic shoe. They're actually designed by a fellow who does a lot of hiking, from what the lady told me. And they are designed, you know, with a lot of tread wear there underneath them. You can get different versions, but as you can see, I've got so much tread on the bottom of my shoes, and they are so fantastically comfy. I can climb hills like a billy goat and know that I'm not going to slip down sideways, and that's what I like to do, as you've seen in my previous videos. And that is where a lot of the gold is hiding too, because a lot of other people aren't willing to do that kind of work, you know, prospecting the steep sides of the hills. And it's generally where you find some really, really good gold. So quickly show you, as I said, the new gaiters, the new shoes, and well, as I said, perfect peace of mind and comfort whilst out here prospecting in the bush. Let's wrap this one back up. We'll put number 10, bit of lead, what I thought was going to be gold. Put that bit of lead in the pouch, fill our hole in, remember, positive mindset, and we move on forward. Well, once again, positive mindset. Third bit of lead in about 10-15 minutes. We've dug 3 in a row now. But with that bit of lead removed, we've got another signal right beside. In actual fact, that's exactly what led me onto this little patch there this morning. The first target, decent target, was a bit of lead. I thought, bugger. But then not too far away, or pretty much right beside, bingo, we got our first bit of gold out. So number 3 bit of lead in the last 10 minutes, as I said. But right beside it is a bit of gold. So never let that negative mindset or the negative finds start determining what your next target's going to be or how your day is going to go. Always keep that positive mindset as best you can. And even if you're finding a few ghost signals or funny signals, or you know, detectors playing up a little bit, or you know, being a bit noisy, or you're finding just lead after lead after lead, persist on, continue on, because, well, the gold is there as well. As long as you're in the right area, as long as your machine is running right, or as right as it can. I mean, I'm still getting a few funny noises today. Just keep noise cancelling and ground balancing as I need. But look, bit of lead and number 10, bit of gold. Perfect. Let's keep going. Oh, hopefully number 11 on this one. Let's get the glove off. Oh. This one's tight too. Brand new gloves. Maxi Flex. Extra large. And this one is literally, this target is literally just down from, oh, did I see it? Literally down from where we just got number 10. So, like I said before, it is number 11. Like I said before, don't run away when you found a bit of gold, because chances are the next bit is not too far away. It likes to hang out together, it does. Gold has friends, which is other bits of gold. That's probably nearly our biggest bit today. Maybe. Thereabouts. Let's put him on the knee. It's just a fantastic feeling when you find a bit of gold too. Like, I know it's small. The gold price is crazy at the moment, but look, I know it's pretty tiny gold, you know. You go back many years ago, back when detecting first started, into the 80s and 90s, and they were sometimes picking up ounces a week. You know, if you were to do an ounce a week in today's day and age, you'd be doing extremely well. But it's the price though. The factor of is gold is so expensive right now. As I said, topping over $7,550 odd an ounce, 31.1 grams to an ounce. So that makes it roughly thereabouts, and it fluctuates a lot, but it makes it roughly currently at the moment at about $243 a gram. So a gram of gold and you've got $243. That's pretty fantastic, I reckon. And not only about the gold, it's about look, the therapy of being out here, the mental health, the physical exercise, you know, enjoying something that you love, enjoying the Australian bush. I mean, it's just picturesque out here at the moment. I got to watch the sunrise, and you've got the birds and the bees and everything flying around you. It's a fantastic place to be. So beautiful bit of gold. What have I said? Number 11. And he is just coming out from that hole there, which our last target come out from there. We got number 10, and we also had the bit of lead. So fantastic stuff. Let's fill this hole in. Let's bottle this one up, and I think we're working our way towards a bit of a break. Let's keep going. All right, I'm going to sit the headphones there for this next one, and we are just literally beside where we got the bit of lead and number 10, and we're above where we just got number 11 out from, somewhere around there. And I haven't really went around that tree properly yet, which I will in a second. But I got excited when I heard this one, just sitting beside, as I said, the last couple of digs that we did. Now, that's really screaming. So he's either sitting on the surface, or he is a big chunk of lead. And how I found this one was simply moving a few of these loose rocks that you see laying around. So like this guy here, this one here, these ones here. Just sort of pull them back, because if you've got your coil and you're hitting up against a rock and you're sort of going around the rock, that's great, but what's underneath the rock? So make sure you move them out of the way. You can always put them back, just like this one here. Like that rock there could be moved out of the way, and then chances are there's nothing to say there's not a bit of gold right underneath my foot there. Just make sure that when you're finished, you always clean up the area and just push all that leaf litter back, and you can't see where you've been, especially if you're on a nice little patch like this. You certainly don't want to give it away, and you want to be able to come back here and work it again. And currently I'm tracking all my steps through LiDAR maps, and I'll be able to work out exactly where I have been, where I need to come back to. We've pulled him out, we have, and where I need to work again. Just off to the side there. Let's go after this one. 2 hands with the scoop. Let's see if we can grab him first. And hopefully, first time. I've done that a lot today. Hopefully it is our number 12, I think we're up to. Yeah, number 12. Let's get him. All right, well, headphones back off again. Don't know if you can see that in the scoop right there. Once again, it's small, but once again, it's gold. We're getting quite the rattles up, aren't we? And that being number 12. And it's funny enough, just show you this piece. Like I said, fill your holes in, because you don't want to put someone else onto your little patch there. And right in front of us, I'll show you a really good example of someone not filling their hole in. And I wonder if they've got gold, or wonder if they got gold out of that hole or anywhere around here. But, you know, classic example, someone digging down, making a bit of a mess and not filling it back in. You can tell it's old. There's leaves and sticks and what have you all over it. It's actually not that old, to be honest, but it takes 2 seconds to fill your mess back in. It takes 5 minutes to dig it out and find your target, but only 2 seconds to kick it back in. So, and as you can see, you can't really see, apart from a bit of the bush being scuffed up and you know, the leaf litter changed around, you can't really tell where I've been here this morning. And you can't tell that I've got 12 bits of gold unless you watch this video. But funnily enough, you know, if someone's had a dig up there in front of me, how have they missed all these other bits? You know, I've only done probably 15 metres up the hill in a width of probably about 5 metres, maybe 10 at most, and 12 bits of gold. So it just goes to show, fill your holes in, be clean, be neat, be tidy, but most importantly, If you've found a couple of targets, even if it be lead, make sure you hunt that area out properly, because where there's lead, or where there's trash, I like to say, there's treasure, and that goes for the coins and relics as well. And where you're finding that trash, you're generally likely to find the treasure, mainly because it hasn't been done properly before. No one's really touched it, or they have, but they haven't been thorough. So 12 bits of gold later, probably about 6 or 7 bits of lead now. Once again, we're still on a great ratio. We're also being eaten alive by mozzies, but that's okay. We'll deal with that, and we'll keep plucking out the gold. Let's keep going. Alright, well, after this one, I think number 13, thereabouts. I've got to check the bottle. I've just been plonking them in there and not really taking note what we've got. I think we're up to 13 next, or maybe this is 14. I said we'll double check in a second. It's quite easy to lose track, that's for certain. Especially when you could be sometimes 10, 20 minutes in between different targets. Just clearing the bush and moving sticks and branches and rocks and digging lead and what have you. Sometimes you can get a little bit lost in how many you've got in the bottle. This one's pretty promising too, I will say, because he's got a big tree root there and another little tree root around the side, tucking off to the side, so we'll try not to damage them. We'll try and just pluck the gold out. Generally when you're finding your target is under the tree root though, generally it can be gold, and they like to get caught up and hung up underneath the tree roots or underneath the rocks, and the gold just sits there and just waits for someone to come along and grab it out. Let's see if we can scoop that bit of dirt out. He might just be sitting there. If not, we're getting closer, aren't we? We'll give him one more listen. He's still in there. And he's right underneath, get my hand out of there. He's right under this big guy, or maybe he's still further down under this little guy. Anyway, we'll go after him, we'll come back and we'll show you the end result. Hopefully it's gold. 13, 14, we're going to do a count up as well. Rightio, well, we got down to that one finally, and it wasn't above the tree root, it was behind the tree root. And it started to scream, it really did. It sounded so good. I'll give you a listen, take you off Bluetooth. And I was really hopeful for it to be gold, really thinking it would be too, because in actual fact you can see the quartz busting out of that slate sandstone sort of material, the bedrock coming up through the ground. You see the quartz shedding out as well. So I really thought, bingo, it's got to be gold. Really started to blank out on me there, but unfortunately it's a bit of lead. The lead's either been shot into the tree or, well, just flew through the air and fell into the ground and made its way down. It was a fair way down. So anyway, not to worry. That's lead, that's life. That's how it goes sometimes. As I said, continue on with that positive mindset. And I have dug maybe, look, without counting, 8 bits of rubbish. But let's see how many bits of gold we've got, shall we? For about 2.5, maybe edging on 3 hours work there. I haven't really looked at the clock. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm actually not counting properly just yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Am I counting that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 2 bits stuck there together. So 12 bits of gold so far. We're working towards lucky number 13. Maybe that's why it wasn't number 13. It wasn't lucky. It was a bit of lead. Get out of there, bug. But look, I think I'm going to stop and just sit here and take it in for a minute. Maybe sit on that quartz stone there and just have a bit of a drink and a stop to bite to eat. I've been going for a few hours now and I think I've done pretty well. And a lot of gold in the bottle and not too much rubbish or lead. So let's have a break, and when I get back I might sort of run this little tributary, little gully running up beside me, and as you jump over there's another one and another one. So we've got heaps of ground here to cover today. We're just got to get through all the sticks and loose leaf litter, debris, move a few rocks, and once again pluck out more gold. So when we come back we're going for lucky number 13. Rightio, well, we're back on the swing stick, and look, we've been back for about 5 minutes. We just dug a bit of lead there behind us, and I was just thinking in my mind, you know, do I change plans? Do I change it up? Do I head off down the hill and work those steep slopes? Especially considering I've got the goat hopping shoes on today, the good tread shoes, and I might still do that. But that'll be off camera. We've had a bit of fun there this morning. We've found quite a bit of gold, and about 5 minutes after digging a bit of lead, bingo, I got another target, and bingo, it's our biggest piece of gold yet, and it's also our 13th piece of gold for this morning. So for about 3 hours there this morning, we've worked on the GPX 6000 with a 9-inch GOLDHAWK COILTEK coil. Fantastic combination, and look, 13 bits of gold later. So we've done exceptionally well, I feel, and this one being the biggest bit. How nice. He's got like a bit of a chunky end, and it tails off into a small little end. So a very, very, very rewarding morning. And the day is not done yet, but look, that'll be about it for us on film there today. I have had an exceptional morning once again. I've really enjoyed being out in the bush, and I've enjoyed digging all these bits of gold. So we'll just lay them all out for you and give you a look. And as I said, gold is currently around about $243 a gram at the moment as we speak. But then again, I'm out in the bush with no service. It may have went up. It might be at 250 by now. But it's just an exceptional time to be out there in the gold fields looking and digging, looking for and digging the gold, I should say. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and the biggest one being 13. As I said, running the GPX 6000 by MINELAB with the 9-inch mono GOLDHAWK COILTEK coil. An exceptional combination. And it sniffs out all the gold. I mean, not saying that the 11-inch standard MINELAB coil would not have found these targets, and it will punch that little bit deeper, being that bigger coil. But the GOLDHAWK coil is just a great combination when you're looking for any gold. It really is. And, you know, even some of the gold that I've dug with the GOLDHAWK 9-inch mono COILTEK coil, it's been at some really, really good depth. In actual fact, I found my 10-gram nugget with that coil, and also my 6-gram nugget. So, look, it's a great combination once again. And I've had a fantastic morning. So 13 bits of gold in the scoop. I'd probably estimate that to be around about half a gram, which means that would be around about $120 sitting in that scoop. So it'll pay for the day, pay for the fuel, it pays for my time and my efforts out here. So I really hope you've enjoyed, guys. We are going to get back into it slowly, producing the videos and sharing the videos and the adventures. I know I have been a bit slack there lately, but don't think I've been doing nothing. Certainly been a lot going on to deal with, but we're getting back out and we're getting back to that some sort of normal routine once again. So I really hope you enjoyed. 13 bits of gold going into the bottle now, and we're going to go off down the side of the hill and try and find some more. I hope to see you next time. Cheers and happy hunting.